The last customization I want to discuss in this video series is user interfaces. In general, customized templates and toolboxes are usually available to work groups across a company intranet or via the internet. If you prefer to have the same customization, but on a personal level, you can do this through user interfaces. And when you first open MicroStation, as you can see on the screen, the MicroStation Manager screen directs you to select a file to open. It also asks you to select a user interface, although up to this point, you have automatically accepted the default interface. And the interface selection is made at the bottom right corner of the MicroStation Manager box, which is right here. So here are the user interfaces, and I'm particularly interested in the interface, which is default. The other two, user and project, are configuration settings used by system administrators to control access to specific workspaces for workgroups. A user configuration setting defines which projects or user interfaces are active. The project configuration specifies configuration variable settings or specific workgroup projects. You might want to consult the help files for a little more information on those two subjects. Now you can create your own interface quite easily, but you only usually do this when you first open MicroStation, as I've just done. So to create your interface, click on the interface box and select New. Now you can give your interface a name. So I'm going to call this Peter, nothing if not vain. I could put a description there if I needed to, but I don't want to, so I'll leave things as they are, and I will say OK. Now the interface is automatically mine, and I can go ahead and open a file. Now the file I'm going to open is this one, which contains just a text string, which gives me the path to my interface file. Now this is where you'll find it, and at the end of it, you'll find that there is a new folder created. That's this interface name, so my folder would be Peter. And in it would be a new DesignLib file. And that's the one that contains the settings for my interface. So I can go and open that file, and I've gone slightly ahead of you here, and here is the next piece of the path, and here is my personal interface folder, and inside that folder is my DesignLib file, and I'll click on that to open it, which opens up as a regular file. Completely empty, of course, but here I can now set whatever standards, settings, templates that I need for a particular project. And when I open a new drawing with my own interface, then this information is automatically set up as part of the file system. So this is really another layer of customization, but in this case, you are basically gathering all of the settings and templates that you've made in the previous videos into one file, which automatically defines all the projects that you work with this interface. And obviously you can have as many interfaces as you wish. And in fact, likely each new project will have a different interface with different settings. Now, as normal, the help files will be quite helpful. But if you'd like an outside source, or several outside sources, go to the internet and search for the term User Configuration MicroStation and pay particular attention to items from DOTs, or Departments of Transport, in the various US states. They often contain quite significant amounts of information about this subject. Now, this finishes this series on configuration, and as you can see from the information presented in the last sets of videos, customization can be applied to many MicroStation functions. The information I've presented is really only a small sample of the many customization options. And if you're working in a production situation, you should spend the time to conduct further research. As I've mentioned, the help files are helpful, and the internet provides information sources which should be fully utilized. For example, I would strongly suggest you conduct more research on design libraries and their uses in production and CAD management. And of course, search for information on the configuration files we've just discussed.